Hello there everyone and welcome back to Agrarian Skies. I'm here with Sneaky tonight.
Hello.
Yeah, Kate is probably not going to be joining us. I think the fussy baby is going to pretty much preclude her involvement in this series right now. Which is sad.
Yeah. Well, fussy babies do take precedence.
Hopefully when we get to the 1.9 or the
1.10 actually. 1.10 is already out, and virtually all of the mods that are 1.9.4 compatible are just drag and drop into 1.10.
Well,
it's apparently an extremely straightforward conversion for virtually most mods. There's a couple that had a couple of issues. I think Tinker's Construct had a little bit of an issue with their multi-block breakers, the hammers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, the vast majority of the mods just converted straight over to 110.2, and so that's what my next version of Sneaky Craft is going to be.
Well, that's a nice change of pace, I have to say. So I was looking at how to make some of the various future artifice things, and I realized, to my horror, that the infusion altar requires materials I'm not capable of building yet. It's not a true pyramid, is it?
Well, what I'm doing is building up to the height that I know it to be.
Gotcha.
And then building across, and then we'll build it out from there.
Cool. In case you're wondering, I'm standing currently in what will be our Thaumcraft space, and Sneaky is building the blood magic area. So, yeah. Anyhow, Sneaky happened to mention to me that maybe there might be another way to make the infusion altar. And according to this, there's going to be something in the X asterisk section of the Thaumonomicon. Problem is that almost everything in here requires the magic to research. But it looks like actually the runic matrix is not one of them, funny enough. Turns out we can make a V filter without silverwood. And we can make a runic matrix with, mixed crystal clusters. Okay, well so basically, I by dumping a ton more crystal clusters into it, I need a lot of crystals all of a sudden. Do you need me to make you a blood altar, or have you already got one?
I will be making one shortly.
Okay. Okay, so if I need mixed crystal clusters, that means I need crystals of 5 kinds, don't I? And there is a source for each of them using a hammer. And
I thought there were 6 kinds.
There are 6. I think the clustered only requires 5. It might require 6. I can't remember. We'll know soon enough. So each of the cluster types can apparently be hammered out of something at a 1-to-1 ratio. So it seems to me that and each one of them is given as a riddle in the X asterisk page. So for the air shard, it says, "You shall find me in the place where dryness reigns." I'm going to guess that's sand.
Sandstone, actually.
Sandstone, oh. Good call.
And in fact, I think it may have to be the chiseled sandstone that you get by putting 2 sandstone slabs together.
That would make some sense, because that's actually the one that has... I actually used that one for magic in the past. To get the, the magic...
Percontio, yeah.
Percontio, yeah. So that's from the sand slabs, isn't it?
Well, the double slabs, the
yeah.
Chiseled sandstone or whatever it is.
Yeah. So I've just made 6 of those. Let's find out if your suspicion is correct. If not, we've got some nice decorative blocks here. It makes a great way to make sand. Shoot. Alright, you know what? I should really just... I like riddles, well and good, but... you can also just find it from... it's just sandstone. Just plain old...
regular sandstone, not the chiseled?
just the plain old, everyday old sandstone.
Nice.
I suppose, considering how many of these things you're going to need, making it super hard to get might not be the most kind thing you could do to somebody.
This is jaded we're talking about.
Okay, that just produced sand as well. I am concerned. I did get the right... come on. Oh, no, maybe I still did get the wrong sandstone. You know, it might be the smooth-sided. Sandstone's... oh, it just says sandstone slab. Could it just be the regular old slabs?
Try it.
Because everything else I've hammered so far has produced sand, and not at a lossless quantity. Whoops. Okay, that won't even break. Sandstone double slab. Literally what you get when you put two slabs one on top of the other. That's interesting and kind of...
is it producing it?
It is. Oh no. You know what that means? This is impossible to automate. It's not a block you can craft. So it's not something that can ever come from a machine.
I wouldn't necessarily say that, but
okay.
it does make it a pain in the butt.
I guess using a block plate, autonomous activator with the placing the slabs one after the other and then using the hammer might work. Yeah, so not impossible, just challenging. Fire shards come from nether brick, which, if I recall correctly, requires... alright, so... yeah, that requires netherrack in quantity. So we're going to see if there's any other... how many of these shards I actually need. So the water shard requires ice. Now, I believe we made a glacial precipitator at some point. For a quest, so I guess I'm going to put that thing to work. There it is. So it just needs a steady supply of water, correct?
The aqueous accumulator? Yeah.
No, the precipitator.
Oh, the glacial precipitator? It needs power.
Yeah, but it only needs water? Or only needs power?
It needs power plus water.
Yeah, okay. Okay, that's what I figured. Okay, let's go with... we actually are out of temperate fluid ducts right now. That's easily fixed now. Okay, has this got extra power? Quite a bit, yes. Okay, there we go. We want you to make ice. Thank you. Okay, I've tapped the auto farm's power supply for this. I figure we can afford a little extra power use, considering this solar panel has been fully charged for quite some time.
What, the tier 3 one? Yeah, we can afford to tap that.
There we go. Yeah, we can tap that. So water's pretty easy. I have a sneaking hunch I'll need an autonomous activator no matter which kind I'm making, so... But this is one of the first things I actually might want to throw into a automated fancy crafting system. I already have an idea how to make it too. Okay, the order shards require double smooth stone slabs. Okay. Do we have enough room on our network to make a crafting unit at this point? Like an auto crafter, or are we still a little shy on space for that?
Check the channels.
Good call. TNT for the last one. Make sure you don't hit that one wrong, that's for sure.
Yeah, mental note. Make sure to have the hammer equipped, not the flint and steel.
I never... I was just about to say I never carry flint and steel, but I actually have one on me right now, so... That is a completely inaccurate statement. But I guess also make sure not to do it anywhere near any source of fire. So... Okay, so that's... for... So what I'm trying to determine is, do I need to make all the shard types, or can I get away with just 5 of the 6 shard types for crystal clusters? I have a sneaking horrible hunch I'm going to need all 6, which means I'm going to need to start figuring out how to automate. Yeah, I need all 6. So I'm going to need to make netherrack. A netherrack was made with redstone and a stone barrel. So redstone's a little on the resource intensive side. Or sorry, a netherrack, unless there's another way to make it. Which I believe we determined there was not.
I don't believe we have a real problem with redstone at this point.
True. Although we've got the system that produces it off. You know what? I think I'm going to set up a system to make a small quantity of netherrack and keep it in stock. I'll have it just be a direct-to-drawer system. And just put it in one of the quarter-sized drawers or something. That sound okay?
Works for me.
Okay. Oops. Come on. Chest. There we go. Alright. And a key. Alright, so I'll make one manually, and then my next job today is going to be automating the production of netherrack. On a small scale, anyways. Yeah, so...
Okay, I think we've got the foundation for the altar set for now.
Cool. Well, that is good. Yeah. Okay. One locked-in netherrack drawer in the system. Now comes the hard part. Have we added any additional... I guess I could add an additional... I should need to add an additional drawer controller slave. That'll make this a lot easier.
You can make another slave if you want.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm going to be moving that failed experiment of automating the circuitry.
Okay.
Because part of it is sticking inside where the underside of your thaumatorium is going to be.
Oh, that.
So I'm gonna move that to a different location. I haven't decided where to move it yet, just not where it currently is.
Sounds good to me. Alright, controller slave. Now I'm going to need easy access to lava as well. But we have that in a piping system now. This whole area down here is getting just a little bit silly. Hold on, we don't have the ability to do lava through the store lava in the network, do we?
We may have fluid storage.
But we're still short on controllers, so that's kind of moot. Or a problem. And it's going to require hardened fluid ducts for this, right? For lava?
Yes.
Okay, and it's going to require... Let's see, the only thing that can do right-click or a right-click effect is a autonomous activator, right? Or no, I should just be able to pipe it straight in. If this works like the other systems, then I see no reason why it wouldn't. Should just be able to use an item duct to pipe the pipe everything in place here. Theoretically, anyways. Let's see. So hardened fluid ducts. We're going to need servos. That should be enough servos. Boy, it might be worth making a proper network controller, if only to have the ability to get peer-to-peer tunnels going at some point.
We can make it now if you want.
Yeah, I just think the P2P tunnels might be just a little... Oh. They've got... Yeah. It's not actually letting me see the recipe for tunnels. That's interesting. Weird. Alright, not going to worry about that for now. Let's eye on the ball. Focus on the project I was already working on. Figure out how the heck I'm going to get a hardened fluid duct.
Apparently we do not have the extra cells mod, the add-on to AE2 that lets us store fluids.
Okay.
We do have Thaumic Energistics to be able to store Essentia.
Okay.
And that is going to be stupidly powerful when we get around to it.
That's actually something we'll probably want to implement sooner rather than later once we actually start in on the whole business. All right. Let's see, where do I want to put this? I think I might need to make this whole area a little bigger. Down around the back. But it's hard to say. We're getting crowded. Very, very crowded. We'll do it this way. No, wait, that still doesn't deal with the issue of being close enough to the drawers. Yep, definitely a few space constraints, that's for sure. Let's see.
We've got an overflow on Ender Pearls now.
Overflow as in it's getting...
As in we've got a second drawer that it's filling up now.
Oh, wow. So it's time to put a drain on that, I guess?
I suppose.
Whoops! Oh, that's what that was there for.
Huh. Some mob just dropped a couple of silkworms.
That is weird. Kind of cool. That actually could be very useful. Just trying to figure out how the how to organize this whole business. Wait, we have more than one drawer or controller on the network.
Then it won't work. You need another slave, not another controller. They'll fight with each other and shut
Yeah,
the
no,
whole
no,
thing
no,
down.
no, no. I was just thinking about whether or not the other two drawer clusters would actually be big enough for the whether there was going to be room, but there really isn't.
Yeah. No, it's 25 by 25, so it's like 12 in a row.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's where I am is the best place to set this little system up. Well, I think I'll just do it right here then, since it doesn't have to be too complicated. And that puts us pretty close to the fluid supply. Get one of those stone barrels. Barrel. Stone barrel. There we go. Okay. Let's do it like this. I want to get this as out of the way as possible here, so... Okay. Okay, right, that's not going to work. Because it pipes in from the top. That'll work. Okay, there's our lava bucket. Alright, I'm going to put one... I'm going to try this. It's allowed to pull one redstone at a time. And then we're going to pull the finished product out the top. You know you're short on options when you're actually building it out of silver wood. Carrying all the wrong blocks at the moment. Okay, and one nether rack as the return. Alright, so if I've done this right, we should be manufacturing netherrack up until that drawer is full. Alright, so you're allowing the pulling of netherrack. You're allowing the pulling of redstone. Please work. Hold on. Would a what's it called? A retriever? It might need a retriever. Now that I think about it, does that make sense, Sneaky? Because I might need to actually pull the item rather than push the... Oh, I wonder. Maybe I got that backwards. I might have to put it in from the top, now that I think about it. That also would fit with the whitelist. Okay, you gonna work this time? Yep, you're gonna work this time. Awesome. Alright, that little tiny system I've just built has officially put netherrack on farm.
Excellent.
And the only downside is that I think our lava supply is going to start getting strained a little if we're not careful. Alright, we're up to 2 so far. Yeah, 3, 4. Awesome. Do you think we need to upgrade our lava production a little?
Hold off on that for now.
Yeah, I'm just noticing. Go ahead.
I was just saying, I don't know if lava or night ore is actually a better source for that. I think night ore underneath those instead of lava source blocks might actually increase the rate of production.
Okay. Interesting. All right, well, it's slow, but it's working. So we have netherrack now being produced into the network. I'll probably do something similar for the rest of the different shard raw materials that are not easy to make, because we really should have constant supplies of things like smooth stone now. We're at that point where we should have some of that stuff just in stock. Oh. Why did I just end up with crushed netherrack instead of shards? Nether brick. Ah, yeah, duh.
Yeah, crushed netherrack, by the way, can be sifted like gravel can.
Yeah, I'm just going to throw the crushed netherrack I just created into a sifter since we now have it. Although it's going to produce a bunch of stuff we don't really need, isn't it? Oh well. It produces a few useful things. So.
It has a chance of producing cobalt or ardite.
Right, and we actually need that. Now what I need to do with the netherrack is actually cook it in a furnace. That produces nether bricks, and nether bricks can be hammered to produce netherrack. Or, sorry, fire shards. I was close. I almost had it right. Just a minor bit of incorrectness going on there. Nothing too serious, right? Okay. Oh, I need a whole bunch more than that. Holy smokes. Yeah, we are going to need netherrack in quantity to make anything significant. Seven and 8. There we go.
Yeah. Where are we on the time frame here?
Just about done. Actually, right on schedule. Because once I've done this, 4 of those shards or clusters, plus 1 ender pearl, plus 4 arcane stone bricks, and a 1 with minimal V in it. long. I think it requires 1 of each, which is a lot cheaper than the 40 it requires normally. Bingo, 1 runic matrix. And that is why you don't put things like X Astris or X Nihilo on vanilla worlds. Because it's...
Well, to be fair, X Nihilo and X Astris are designed and built specifically for skyblock.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's exactly why... What makes them perfect for skyblock mechs makes them absolutely imperfect for vanilla worlds.
Yeah, well, it's using the right tool for the right job.
Yep. Okay, so I should actually be able to wrap this episode up by actually building the runic altar. How cool is that? Already there. I just have to remember how the full thing's put together, that's all. Refresh my memory. Which kind of bricks go at the bottom and which kind of bricks go at the top? Ah, it's the arcane stone bricks at the bottom. So I'm guessing this torch in the middle is probably the best place for the altar. Would that be a reasonable...
Well, that denotes roughly the center.
Right, we're dealing with a 16 by 16 grid, aren't we?
Yeah, we're dealing with 16 by 16. If you want, I can shave a line off to make it a 15 by 15.
No, no, it's okay. I'm just going to offset it by 1 towards the back then. Or, yeah, just give us... Because I can always make a little more room at the back, because it doesn't have... One thing about Thaumcraft is it doesn't actually depend on being one chunk based. The runic altar isn't chunk sensitive, which is good. I'm actually going to push it back a little further. We'll make sure there's nice, clean room to walk through here. And I'll just expand that platform at a later date. Okay. Alright, and let there be the magics. Hello? Uh-oh. I need a fully charged iron wand to actually make the runic altar. But that's all I need. But I do need to charge the iron wand.
Didn't we get a fully charged wand as a result of some kind of something?
We've had 2. They've both been used up for to create the various components here. So I have 2 nearly dead wands is what I have right now. So I'm going to have to crack out this lovely little node we were given, which has 15 of each type, but I need to be really careful draining it.
Yeah. So I've got an achievement in Mystical Blood.
Oh, nice. Very cool. Well, let's the first. So let's get it. Ah, you've made your Orb of Sacrifice. Full heart and some leather. Cool. Decent stuff. That gives us another heart, which is... Oh, we got 2 other quests that have finished up. What else is finished? Probably Thaumcraft stuff. Yep. So, oh, right, because I've made the Arcane Pedestals and the Runic Matrix. Nice. Didn't even have to finish actually activating the Runic Matrix to get that one. Which is cool. Okay. Well, I think that's an excellent place to leave off this episode, everyone. That was productive. 25 lives we have now.
Not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. So thank you all for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye for now.